What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to Lyles Movie Files. Don't worry, the rest of the gang will be here soon enough. So right now I'm rolling solo, but we're gonna be talking about a bunch of stuff going on in Hollywood, comic book front, and of course, tonight's topic. If you could choose any four actors to star in your movie of any kind of possible genre, Western, musical, action, sci-fi, thriller, etc., who would those four actors be? All right, so we'll get started while waiting on the rest of the guys. I know Jace is going to be probably 5 more minutes before he arrives, but before the rest of the guys get here, let's say what's up to everybody here in the chat. James Green, what's up, movie maniacs? What's up, Jeffrey, Jason, Chief? What's up, James Green? How are you? As I have my orange background colors tonight. Snake Eyes, howdy, partners. Howdy, partners. Well, David Thanos, what's up, fellas? Thank God football season is back. Oh man, it felt so long. And if your team was in the news from the second we lost the Super Bowl until the start of the regular season, like my dear San Francisco 49ers, it has been a long, overwhelming offseason. So finally, we get to play football and beat everybody except for the Chiefs, like we always do. So here's hoping to a good football season. Give me a good reason to be excited. Blake Tarpley here. Hey, what's good, folks? Jeff, Chase, Chief, that other guy. Norris is he'll be making appearances when you least expect. Right now, he's away on vacation, so I know he won't be here this week, but hopefully we'll see him back on real soon. Is Chief on suicide watch? I don't know. He should be after those costumes. Gosh, those uniforms were terrible. What's up, David Thanos and Blake? It's the Haps on the Craps. What's up, Jamelin Parks? How are you, my man? Another fine Thursday. I was trying to see if the guys are going to be on here. Not yet, though. Anyway, a lot of stuff to talk about. Blake, the fourth slot is always a surprise. Never know who's coming on. Exactly. It's sometimes I don't know who's coming on. It's just like boop, surprise. As I put the link out to the gang, Javon and Gunner. Every so often they surprise us and show up. So who knows what's going to happen if we're going to have a fourth man on tonight's show. I'm betting against it, but we'll see. All right, so let's get into some of this stuff. I had a whole tab full of notes to break down. A lot of stuff is always to discuss and talk about, but it's been already a kind of a sucky week. Fans of pop culture on various fronts. We lost James Earl Jones, and always kind of it's a little weird when somebody who's had a really long life and got to experience the highest of highs, got to star in iconic movies or the top of their field, and they go on and they're continuing to do stuff many years afterwards. And I don't know why, but it's always like, well, I mean, yeah, eventually he was gonna have to die. And I got to do some great stuff. And he was one who said, yeah, this AI technology, this feed the voice in and it'll make it sound like me back in the days. That's really cool. So he's already signed off, or he'd already signed off for us to have more Darth Vader using his voice. So even when he's gone, we'll still have, apparently some fresh James Earl Jones as Darth Vader content still to come. With the wrestling reference. But whose side is the fourth man on? What are you talking about, Brain? James had some real iconic roles. He did. I mean, for me, immediately defaulting to Darth Vader in his appearance in Conan the Destroyer, right? Not the Barbarian. Make sure I'm saying that one correctly, because whichever one he was in, of course, he was cool because he was in it. It was the Barbarian, eh? Yes, the Barbarian, the 1982 film. Gosh, that seems really wild that That was 1982, but geez, boy, that was crazy. It didn't feel like it was that long ago. And Snake Eyes hates AI. I'm quite sure why. Hakeem's dad and coming to me. You better believe it. Let them wait. I'm talking to my son. And then the joy, which felt like a straight up Darth Vader line. No, bring him to me. That was awesome. Anyway, love Coming to America. Love, of course, Empire Strikes Back. All the Star Wars that Darth Vader has appeared in. So, really good stuff. I was reading, doing my, I guess, kind of daily foray down into Twitter, and I was reading this really interesting thread from Gail Simone, awesome comic book writer. She was discussing, dude, the foolishness. It's funny because I realized that I sent the guys a text with a totally different topic. Well, we'll have to see how they act on the fly with this one. Right, The Lion King as well. Awesome role. But let's see here. So Gail Simone was just kind of posting, how did Disney Star Wars ruin such a great story character with so much potential like Finn? They had him served up on a plate, and they just completely botched his whole story arc in 3 films. So, and I was like, this is interesting because to me, one of the lures, one of the, oh, I want to see this movie is that trailer shot with Finn gripping a lightsaber. And it's like, hey, this is the dude that was the stormtrooper that they showed earlier. What a cool concept. This stormtrooper somehow becomes a Jedi, and it was a huge fake out. And he really was like, it really dropped the ball and disappointed me on this one. Anyway, now flying alone by myself. Let me break the news to Jace that I have completely pulled a Julie Chen and expect the unexpected here for the topics for this week's show. Bro Shot, what's going on?
How are you? Doing
Good.
a Zoom bot? I'm like, no Zoom bot.
Have you been watching this season of Big Brother, by the way?
Yeah, I have. I can't tell anybody where I am, but I've been watching it. It's been rather entertaining. So you disagree, I see.
I mean, I wanna like it, but I feel like they have tried. Wow. Okay. He arrives.
I'm here. I just
okay.
Way too small. It's weird.
So the deal is that I don't like Angela, and I feel like they have done an intense, an insane amount of logic bending to keep her on the show. And I feel like they have skewed some deals, and the second week it was, I don't even know why I'm doing it. And I'm like, you know what? I know why you're doing it.
I remember that was the one. It's like, we don't know why we're keeping her. I'm like, because you went to a diary room and they literally said, we will give you $5,000
right
to keep her here. I cannot buy any logical choice. It's like, this lady is a grenade, and she's not a fun grenade.
No,
she's just a grenade.
Right.
And I don't know what your season has if you don't have a grenade. So keep the grenade here out.
I mean, it would have been a better season because I just feel like they're being stupid. Anyway, so I was out. I sent you all one of my 2 ideas for this night's show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized as I was talking with the gang here in the chat that I completely whipped up the topic, the item notes for a totally different one.
Okay.
And so the one that we are going to do tonight is 4 actors. And the one that you sent, this one, the 4 actors that you could choose in any genre in whatever film you decided to make. I was jumping between the 2. And of course, I sent the text to you all, and I was like, wait. As I started talking leading off this episode, I'm like, that's not actually what I sent the fellas. So
anyway, yeah, I was like,
figure this out here.
Yeah,
it's a whole deal. Anyway, Gail Simone was tweeting Saturday about Finn and how the Disney sequel trilogy took a really intriguing, interesting character and did absolutely nothing. So,
No,
Lawson, first James Earl Jones movie that I ever saw, other than Star Wars, was A Great White Hope. He's been solid in so many things. I didn't know he was the first celebrity who showed up on Sesame Street. That's pretty cool.
I'm a little mad when it comes to James Earl Jones and all of the great actors that the only award they've ever gotten, Academy Award, is honorary awards because they have brought so much to cinema that you should look. Hey, does Daniel Day Lewis need 10 awards? No. Does Meryl Streep need 20? No. You have to bring in new blood at the very least. But there are some great actors that should have gotten let go. James Earl Jones, you find one and don't care. This is a guy who needs a win. Like, did Al Pacino needed a win for Godfather 2? You did not give him that. So you gave him one for Sin of a Woman.
Listen, I would have been fine if he got it for Scarface.
Of course he should have got that. Like, again, this is the one guy who literally, like, we bought Al Pacino as a Cuban dude. Like, and we just said, yes, that's the guy. That is Scarface. And we just kept it moving. Like, I hope going forward they don't do, like, as many honoraries like Samuel L. Jackson, Angela Bassett does not need. I mean, like, Angela Bassett actually has one for What's the Love Got to Do. But don't give these great performers with these great performances honorary because they make cinema what keeps us coming back to it. And I hope they, with the new voting body, they do a little better.
Yeah. And then Frankie Beverly, he's gone today. And John Cassidy, who you probably don't recognize the name, but he was a really great comic book artist. He was the artist behind the Josh Whedon run of Astonishing X-Men. So you've seen his art.
Oh, yeah.
Did a lot of stuff for DC. He's drawn pretty much every character at some point or another who mattered, but really, really a great artist. So this thing is weirdly odd and how celebrity does come in threes. And this one, it's like, depending on what three you wanted to roll with, they've definitely crossed that. Anyway, back to this Gail Simone thing. She was really upset that Finn was wasted as a character. And I was like, exactly. And sometimes when I go down the comment section of Twitter, I regret it instantly. This is not the case here. I want to read a few responses to you. Very curious what you think on that. Absolutely, it was great in the Sandlot. I don't know why I forget the Sandlot, but yeah, awesome in that. D Hacker 615 said they made two basic mistakes. They didn't have a single creative showrunner overseeing the whole Star Wars brand. They overproduced. They amped it up to one movie per year and then added TV shows. They didn't give Lucasfilm enough time to design new creatures, vehicles, etc. to make each installment feel fresh. Finn was downstream of that. They set out to make a quote-unquote female Jedi trilogy without really knowing what her story was. So when a secondary character broke out, it was a problem and not an opportunity. It's interesting because I really felt bamboozled, hoodwinked.
Yeah, that was bait and switch.
Was the main character, huh?
That was a bait and switch. I mean, like, when you see in a Star Wars movie, you see someone with a lightsaber, that is where your eyes go. Like, oh, this is the guy I need to pay. This is a guy at that point I need to pay attention to.
And all the trailers, all the posters had Finn with the lightsaber, now with the blaster. And Rey had her staff and was like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is interesting. The Han Solo character is the Jedi. The desert rat is the scoundrel type. Okay, where is this going to go?
Yeah. I mean, I understand if you guys, I think we all, if we didn't feel like that's such like bait and switch, I think that would have helped the older generations who grew up with Star Wars accept them a little more. We'd had like, oh, okay, this is the person who's going to be Jedi. We would have focused on, oh, okay, I'm going to focus on Rey. But we don't get to Rey at least until 20 minutes in the movie.
Right.
That's very different than Like, oh, Finn is the dude. I remember he's the guy with the lightsaber. Oh, he's the guy I got to pay attention to. Oh, he's a stormtrooper. This is very different.
In full fairness, I don't remember the exact mark. No pun intended. We see Luke Skywalker. He's probably 15, maybe 20 minutes into Star Wars / New Hope. But I kind of feel like that was the same kind of deal where it was also sticking way too close to Star Wars for Force
It
Awakens.
was safe.
Yeah.
What is that? That the fan fiction is always just was super safe, trying to, oh, we hate the sequel trilogy.
Here's some more though. All right,
Okay.
so Geek to Me Radio says bad writing. That's how a stormtrooper that defected to the Alliance and who was force sensitive. How do they not run with that? It demonstrates that there was no clear vision on the new trilogy, and it gives the impression that they were just making it up as they went along. Yes. Let's see. David DevNull00 says, yeah, I really didn't like the direction they took him in. He had some main character energy, wielding a saber to stand up to troopers and protect his friends. And the next movie wakes up as a cheap slapstick gig. You don't do that to your mains.
Yeah.
And then D-Hacker says, the problem was that John Boyega and Adam Driver had the most charisma. Boyega was a better scene partner with Oscar Isaac than Daisy Ridley was with anyone. Ryan Johnson belatedly figured out that Ridley and Driver worked at romantic chemistry, but that didn't fit the story. And let's see, another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like a little bit of point in that. I don't think as soon as they switch it in sequel trilogy #1, I think that's when everybody's like, wait a minute, we all stopped paying attention because our minds got derailed. Like, yo, wait, this is the dude. Now why are you fucking on this other person? I don't think it had anything to do with chemistry. I think it was much more we had been targeted on this person, and they were like, nope, it's over here. It's like, wait, why?
Lawson says that was different in the case of Star Wars, though, Jeffrey. True. Luke appeared 20 minutes into the film because no one had seen Star Wars before, and they needed to show the universe a bit. Yes, they had to give us introduction to the setting.
Right.
The later Star Wars movies have the benefit of history, so people already know the background universe. That is very true.
Exactly.
Let's see, another one. Sir Cornelius Love. I love how every Star Wars friend desperately wanted him to be a Jedi. Shaking my head, Disney fumbled. Roberto Blake just said cowardice. Let's see. Is there another one? There are more. It was a really good thread. Nick Dougal said he should have been a Jedi. Not a fan if he could force sense BS.
Yeah.
And Jay in the Woods says supposedly Ray had more chemistry with this guy and decided to switch it up mid-trilogy. One of the dumbest decisions in movie history.
Again, I'm sorry. That's another one I'm gonna take umbrage with because we don't know.
What's that, Ryan? Well, he was saying that switching up the romantic chemistry to Kylo was the dumb mistake.
But I mean, the way, and again, I may be hearing it a little incorrectly, but it sounds like it was Daisy's decision to switch it up. It's like,
no, I don't think he was saying that at all.
Oh, I mean, because
he's saying Ray.
Like, I don't know. I think because I don't know. I was watching something so much and they were earlier today, and they were like, "Oh, the Rose Tico character was a horrible character." It's like, no, the Rose Tico character was horrible. I mean, I'm at agree with it. It's like because you already had something being built up, and it was like, nope, not gonna happen. It was like.
Jamelin says the first face you see in new Star Wars media was a black man. Then you see that he was a defecting stormtrooper. And most of all, showing this untrained former stormtrooper wielding a lightsaber. The trailer gave us so much hope for something new and interesting with his character's art.
Well, exactly. I don't think there's anybody just that right there. That is a story. That is not built. That is not the Skywalker trilogy. That is not Palpatine. There is a whole new story to be built there. And
yeah, and they didn't have to know what had already happened.
And Rey is a Palpatine. Ugh. I mean, she's not even like, even if she was a Kenobi, that would have been, oh, I didn't see that coming. But a Palpatine was dumb. Like there's nothing else. I mean, elaborate or say it's like that was dumb.
Yeah, because I could have bought Obi-Wan and not
That's
Sabine.
the man.
Oh,
So, that's just the teeth.
right, Satine, right.
Yeah.
Like they had a moment, and she hid the baby from Obi-Wan, and the baby grew up and separate from the Jedi, had a kid who was Rey, living out in
I
the
would have been his
desert.
granddaughter. I mean, like even a
Yeah.
granddaughter been like, yo, you're still part of that legacy.
And
But
then Ryan says, I think possibly the biggest misstep was incapacitating him at the end of the movie. It took him out of the hero's journey and left Ryan Johnson with nothing to do with the character in The Last Jedi. This is great because this takes up another one. Let me see here.
okay.
Because there were so many. All right. Um Jerry Sacco. My wife watched all of Star Wars for the first time not long ago. Congratulations. Of course, I watched it with her. It's jarring how different he is treated if you watch the new trilogy within the same week. Took an interesting, unique character who's also a great actor and destroyed his role. Benosaurus Rex. I'm still flabbergasted by this. They even marketed Finn like he was going to be the one to take up the series mantle. Such a monumental waste of one of the coolest character ideas. Sentient 6 that they blew it with both the black and Asian characters such an extent made it feel like deliberate tokenization. And it's on my long list of reasons I'm not fond of the third trilogy, but that they got hate from bigoted Star Wars from bigoted fans makes it even worse. Yes. All right. Well, that was all the very interesting tweets on that. And I was just like, whew, boy.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we had all seen, God, the poster in China, the poster in China kind of gave you BB-8 was a bigger thing than Finn. I think that really is kind of, especially as U.S. fans, like, wait a minute, I don't know. I mean, it's like, what are you guys trying to pull? I think, but in the U.S., like, let's be honest, this is your bigger audience who starts. I mean, I think it got released. Star Wars got released here first. We would have thought we had just y'all subverted expectations, and that screwed everybody up. And it's like just like what Ryan said, that story almost writes itself. It does not take a lot of effort to make a stormtrooper, a defective stormtrooper, becomes a Jedi. Like, I mean, because I was talking about. I have all the books. I mean, well, most of the books over there beside me, and it's not always the Skywalkers, and just that was a. I mean, like there was a story. The new Jedi Order. The strongest Jedi was a guy named Kip, and
Fabian?
he was, huh?
Wrestling, sorry.
Oh, and he was stronger than the Force than Luke, but he had a good journey. Luke brought him back to the light side. You could have done so much better with a new character that wasn't. You could have always brought the older characters in, but this is our guy. I think that just everyone got pissed off. I knew I liked that guy. My gosh, I knew I liked that Ryan kid. Yeah, Kid was such a cool character. I mean, and even when they got to the Yavin Vaughn, he was still this outcast rogue Jedi. He was really strong, but Luke was still the man. And they fumbled that so bad. It's like, oh, we're gonna make it's a female Jedi. You could have just said, hey, just give us that. We would all, I think we'd all have been cool because we'd all grown up with Leia being this kick tail character. So you didn't need to, hey, we got you. Like, come on.
I also thought, sorry, that was me.
I know.
Chief said it's just it's just you and me now, kid. And blame Gunner for making you late, Gunner.
Oh, but
all right.
It is Gunner's fault. I should be
Lawson says a great way to get a character over with audiences is to have them dealing with adverse situations. Show them struggling, maintaining, and overcoming their situation, make them sympathetic and relatable. Can't make them perfect and awesome. Got to make them humble, likable, and willing to try hard. That'll help you get behind them. And that sounded like the description to me of Beatrice, who we see in the hospital to open up Kill Bill.
Well, honestly,
or not opening, but
yeah,
in the second act.
When they were, everyone was complaining, oh, like Luke is a Mary Sue. It was like, so I mean, the dude got his hand cut off. He found out everything he believed was a lie. Like that got him to where he had to get to Return of the Jedi. Rey's journey is not a hero's journey. It was uh her biggest adversity was I'm an orphan, which is not insignificant, but after that I'm good. I'm the strongest force wielder that's ever been around, and it's not even hard for me to learn how to do the force.
I don't know.
And everyone loves me.
I think Kylo Ren is just the wackest Sith user because he gets taken down so fast by everyone who's
Everyone.
not really a Jedi.
I mean, and
Worse.
that's one of those weird joints. Like when Adam Driver complained about it. Oh my gosh, dude, Jamie, talk more, man. My gosh, oh my gosh, dude, you're not even playing games. I mean, gosh, it was not Nomi Somewriter. The second character from Knights of the Old Republic, the Exile, dude, that is my, oh my gosh, I'm still mad I didn't play her as the female character. I played with him. I played with the character as a guy, but the story would have been, it's so much cooler.
What is this on?
This is Xbox Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Gosh,
that honestly, that is one of those sins of gaming exclusivity. That one was such a good game, and now it is so hard to play. But my gosh, those two games are so much fun. And the patch for Knights of the Old Republic 2 that gives you all the old levels they were trying to put in the game, it's engrossing.
I love that there's a level of Star Wars that I have no idea what y'all are talking about, but it's like, Jace, you're getting hyped up about it.
Oh my gosh, like Exar Kun is they bring him back for the new Jedi Order books, and it's such a cool story. I really wish, and I think that's always what hurts Disney Star Wars. They're like, oh, we don't want to deal with legends. But it's like, yo, look at the stories. They're so cool. And even if you got to pay one author for his IP, it's worth it. Because, I mean, technically you bought all of it. So you can just say, yo, based on the stories of this guy, pay him some scraps like Lucas was doing. You don't have to do all this extra stuff. It was such a fumble. And I think all Star Wars and new fans would have came in, they're like, oh, I don't have to know Star Wars, but this is really cool storytelling.
I agree with you, Ryan. I really felt like it was like this ridiculous cinematic tug of war playing out in real time. And the only ones who really suffered for it were the fans who were invested from The Force Awakens. Like, okay, what's going to happen now? And I did not hate The Force Awakens. I was a little bit, y'all kill Han off for, but I understood. I mean, Harrison Ford was trying to kill Han off all along. I like the fact that Chewbacca missed out on a hug so Leia could hug the stranger. But what kind of messed it up to me later on was that The Last Jedi. I was on Instagram and they had that deal where, you know, they're teasing the threads for you to get that. I'm so no selling that. And this lady said, I like to mess with men and tell them my favorite Star Wars movie is The Last Jedi. And if they react badly to that, then I know not to talk to them. I'm like, well, I feel like those dudes are probably
like, why would you just, I mean, like, I just say, hey, why would you don't like good stories? Like, because I'm gonna disagree. It's JJ hated the prequels. I don't think he just hated Return of the Jedi. I think he hated the prequels. Oh, we're gonna go back to the old sets and stuff, but he didn't actually go to storytelling. Like, because and this is one of those drinks I always get mad at. I love most of J.J. Abrams' stuff. Like Lost, Fringe. I love that stuff before Force Awakens, and then it was Force
Awakens. Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah, it was just one of those joints. That's like, and this is one of those I blame Kathleen Kennedy because she is. Hey, there's no George Lucas there. I am now the gatekeeper. I have to understand, hey, what makes people like this property?
She was Zool. She was Zool.
Her not doing that just really is like, oh my gosh, I got that after I was kept talking. Oh,
Yeah, Fringe was great. James put me onto that, and I blew through that one. That was so much fun.
That was 100 episodes of fun. I mean, I was so glad they got to 100 episodes. I'm like, I didn't even like as much that last season, but it was like, yeah, good job, guys.
I like that last season a lot more than you did. I really dug it. That new Batman on Amazon from Abrams is great. I feel like there's a lot of people involved who I like their work, and JJ Abrams happens to be one of the people. So I don't know if I want to. I know he's involved, but I feel like when you throw in Bruce Timm's on a Batman related project, I would assume he's the main voice, and JJ Abrams just happens to be along for the ride. I might be wrong, but I kind of doubt it since I've seen Bruce Timm's other stuff and it's the same quality as Cape Crusader. So
yeah. In that scenario, if you heard Bruce Timm walk from a project, that's when I'm not messing with that project. But Bruce Timm says, hey, I made this. I'm always going to give you that extra, like, yo, you were the visionary between Justice League. I mean, there's no way. I mean, like, you gave us Batman, Superman animated adventures. Like, yo, you have good cachet. I'll listen to what you want to say. Like, far better than a lot of other people.
Fringe was the best live action version of the Fantastic Four we've had. Fringe was so good. And I feel like I've waited long enough now where I've forgotten enough of it because I binge watched it the first and only time. It was so good. And I think now enough time has gone by that I've forgotten every note of every episode. So I can rewatch it and really enjoy it.
Yeah, I recently watched that probably in the last 6 months. I'm like, this was a really good show.
Was. And Mark A says, my main gripe is that Disney picked and chose stuff from the EU that they snuck into their IP, etc. Examples of the Dark Forces Rogue One story makes you wonder if Jefferson Starship will end up canon. The thing is, I really think those people are sneaking in stuff that Kathleen Kennedy does not know is associated with the EU.
Yeah. I mean, like, Thrawn was, hey, I have a alien general that could be work against.
He snuck him in the clone. I mean, to Rebels.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh gosh.
Yeah, man, the time is right. I could watch that and be like, "Whoa, my guy Lincoln." Oh man, I may have to start that because there's not like a lot of TV shows. I guess next Wednesday, Agatha All Along drops. Has your excitement level changed on that one yet?
I said a couple weeks ago after watching the trailer, I'm gonna give that a chance.
That's so big of you.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, hey, but also I'm gonna also be doing this podcast, and then if I forget to watch Agatha, that also gonna be the case.
Ryan says, despite their many flaws, I still like the sequel movies more than the prequels. I feel like
I don't like this
always fair with your thoughts on it. We disagree, but good. I'm glad to hear you like the sequels.
Boo. Okay. Like, since Chief can't be here, I got it.
Lady says, spoiler, don't have to see it now because it was Agatha all. I don't know why that.
I really wonder why they chose to make that move, because I really think it could have been a write-off. It's like nobody would have cared if they said, "Hey, with our new direction, we're not going to put out Agatha alone." Like DC did it with that Batgirl. I just don't understand. Like, I don't think anyone was clamoring to see this.
Jamie, what did you say Alpha was on again? I wrote it down. Huh?
It was from Syfy, so.
Ugh. Does that mean it's on Peacock, maybe?
Gosh, I don't even know.
Peacock is the worst basic streaming service. Everything is on Peacock Premium. It's worthless to get Peacock.
Wait a minute. There's a Peacock and then a Peacock Premium?
Yes, it's so awful.
Wait, so no. So you're telling me if I get Peacock, there's still going to be stuff gated behind a Peacock.
Well, the different cable providers, you get some, like we get Netflix kind of thrown in. So I don't know if there's a version of Peacock where you subscribe to, you get all this stuff, or if it's just a toss in, with your cable provider.
So what? Guys, just I'm just so mad.
It's just kind of worthless to me, though. Hey, I like 2.5 Star Wars movies, Star Wars Empire, and the first half of Jedi. Hate to be that guy, but I am that guy. So that's interesting because I kind of dig maybe the second half of Return a little bit more than the first. But that's because I respect the Ewoks as stormtrooper killers.
Yeah, Jedi to me is always the original trilogy. Jedi should have been the strongest, but it wasn't. Like,
this is Empire is the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, like it was hard to get past that. Yeah, like because I mean, especially as kids, we're like, "Is Darth Vader lying?" And that ambiguity. No, he's just messing with him, right? It's like, no, I actually told him the truth to mess with him even more. And then
it was not the Ewoks about it. Well, please enlighten me. I love
because I'm always much more. I love the Vader Luke scenes. I just it's almost the because and then this is always I did not like Phantom Menace as much because I hated the triple battles at the same time. If they did one battle, then the next, I would enjoy that a whole lot more. Okay.
Payback for Han? Justice for Han? No, wrong franchise. What kind of payback did you want to see for Han?
Well, I mean, like Jabba, like yo, could
no, his payback was that he was basically alone. It was him and Chewie, and his payback is that through the course of this original trilogy saga, he has made a family who comes to his rescue. Like, scoundrel, I'm just doing my own thing with Chewie. Han would have been stuck on that wall forever. But his payback is his investment into Luke and Leia, even Goldenrod, R2, Lando, trusting him all over again, is rewarded by them coming, risking their lives to save him. But so his payback is that now I owe you one. Actually, it's still 2-1, but whatever.
But would it have been cool if Han gets his sight back and say he knocks off Jabba and Boba Fett?
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. Ryan says Jedi is a great culmination of Luke's story, but after taking out Jabba the Hutt, Han and Leia don't really matter for the rest of the movie. They take down the shield generator. Han's gonna get that shield generator down. That's I wanted to see Han do something other than hide behind a wall. He watched shot first.
I still recommend we still have all the versions where Han shoots first, and that's just gonna be what it is.
Yeah, it's just
again, and as you guys seen me pull out the Blu-rays of these,
they don't really see you. They see your screen go black for a second.
Yeah,
come back with,
that was literally it's literally right there all the time. I just pull it up, but half the time it's like, yo, the sequel. I mean, the original trilogy updates are never something we all like. We love. It's just what we have on Blu-ray. The original. What we actually got when we were kids is still the better version.
I think Empire does benefit from 90% of the tweaks. My only issue is the lack of the bring me my shuttle.
Bring me my Star Destroyer. So
I love my Star Destroyer to prepare for my arrival. Has absolutely none of that. I am pissed off. I'm not going to take it anymore.
I mean, honestly, from the tone he set the rest of the movie, it's not courteous. Bring me my Star Destroyer so I can be good. It's like bring me my Star Destroyer, and if someone gives me lip, I'm going to force choke you out.
Yeah, you're done. Blake is correct.
There is some truth to that. Yeah.
Austin says Harrison Ford didn't want to contribute action scenes. He didn't want to be there, and it shows. The Greedo shooting bit is nowhere near as bad as the Jabba scene forced into me. Yeah, because it's also redundant. I mean, we got everything we needed to hear. He repeats dialogue, and all for that, here's Boba Fett. It's whatever. I don't hate it, but it is just kind of Hay Morrison's dub of all Boba Fett's dialogue.
I'm not gonna argue
that. I mean, for consistency's sake, I get it. I'm glad that Jeremy Bullock does still get a on-camera, non-helmeted appearance. Whoa, hey, you're not gonna get me. I've got Princess Leia in front of me, my guy.
Yeah, I wish. I mean, a little bit of hate there, Parks. Are you cheating?
No, I showed you my jeans. Jace, however, is like
good. There's shorts in here.
Gotcha.
So when you got these drawers closed, there's no fan. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You know, I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, but yeah, I guess they do kind of ruin it. I suppose because I've watched Star Wars probably a gazillion times before they added that scene, it kind of doesn't register for me. But man, what a piece of junk! Oh, it's awesome, great scene. Yeah. I remember watching Empire in theater and being afraid Luke was going to fall off the bottom of Cloud City while being rescued. Silly, but I was that into it. Oh, I was like, why did you jump?
There's honestly, use the force. That scene is so. I mean, like when he falls down that shaft, and then he's like, "There's nothing there," but he's literally just hanging in Cloud City. It's like, yo, because especially when you're kids, you don't know what could happen, especially with all that is going on in Empire Strikes Back. You don't know if. Yo, I've seen so many people get like Han's gone, like C-3PO's blown up in pieces. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like that. The only other time I've had that feeling was much later with Fellowship of the Ring. Like, oh my gosh, we've lost Gandalf. Boromir's dead. No, Sam, don't go into the water.
Hey Jeff, don't you mean was it Battle of the Five Armies?
That one I liked. The first two were snooze inducers.
I mean, like, you know, when dwarf number 5, 6, and 7 go, you're like, oh gosh, it's that guy. He's gone. Oh no! Oh, shoot. Oh, the king of the guy. Oh no!
And it's funny. Now, this is probably because I only have the third one in the collection. But I'm like, will you guys say who these dwarves' names are again? Thank you.
I remember, like, because when we went to the theater, I didn't watch the first one. I still have not watched the first one. And it was like, oh, introduction, I'm like, blah, blah, really, blah, blah, blah.
Really long. there's I think it was, who was it? Because I saw this, and because of Chief's lack of interest, I didn't put it down for a note for this episode. Oh, man. Can you see me okay?
Yeah, you're frozen a little bit.
Oh, okay. Because my computer, my whole thing froze. My mouse didn't move or anything. Yeah. All right. Ian McKellen, who's probably going to be in this new Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, said that the movie is going to be a 2-parter. Why?
What? Like, okay, guys. Okay. We saw where Gollum gets the ring. No one's checking for the ring. I'm like, he's in a cave. Like, we don't need to, tread some new ground. Hey, the dude's in the cave. He's not running around. Like, nobody be like, oh, here's where Smeagol gets cast out of his village and then goes in the cave. And then he sits there for like years. Like,
he ate some fish. He ate some fish of a really valued kingdom. And gosh, the prince goes to get revenge, to track down Smeagol. Not interested.
I am going to watch some point this week. I'm going to watch the next episode of Power of the Ring, and I'm still not thinking. You know what I need to see? What actually happens to Gollum when he's right before he gets to that cave? Like, that's not going to creep in my thought process. Like, come on.
Ryan says people don't even realize how great the father reveal is. It's both the emotional and narrative climax of the movie. Out of that line, hardly any of the dialogue matters. John Williams takes over. Yeah, that's not true. That's impossible. No, I
Okay.
hated so much with a passion when they inserted that ridiculous when he falls and like that totally undercuts the entire point of that scene. Lou's like, if you're my dad, I'm done. And if you're not, I don't have a hand to fight you. So whatever. I'm not joining you either way.
Honestly, and this is every time I watch Star Wars, you have a unique viewing method of watching the original 6 movies. I always wonder. I enjoy 1 through 6. Yours is 4, 5.
Because the most important part of the whole saga is that reveal. Like Ryan said, it is everything in the story. And if you get that in advance, because especially now, because I can't watch Star Wars without throwing in Clone Wars. So that's a nice long winding journey of great stuff. But I don't need to. I mean, it's like, nah, I'm perfectly fine after hearing Obi-Wan tell Luke how great Anakin was during the Clone Wars. Taking that super long detour, watching the Clone Wars. Oh man, he really is awesome. This is the same dude that chopped off Luke's hand. Oh man, here's Sith. And whoa, now we're back. The final showdown. Luke Skywalker versus Anakin Skywalker.
It's always I always say again, we have different perspectives on that, but yours is actually really unique because but unfortunately, after watching Sith and that lightsaber duel with Anakin and Obi, you get to the Luke versus Vader, it's not as good. There's a whole lot of emotion, but it's not as good as that, duel.
I think it's more personal and a different level because it's like Luke is fighting for Obi-Wan. And, of course, I have to figure out my new viewing with these new inserts into the chronological setup because of Kenobi, which I do like, and Andor and Rogue One. Got to piece them in, but I think it just kind of furthers the story. First movie you saw in the theater. I'm trying. Well, I guess I hadn't seen Empire.
That was mine. Like, I know that.
I think Empire I saw in the theater and the drive-through. Lawson, I was one of the kids.
You weren't that old, Joe. Come on,
huh?
You weren't that old.
No, like a re-release. I mean, I was around when it came out, of course. Star Wars works best when viewed in release order. So do you do release order?
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
And where do you throw in this new stuff? Like the Disney era. Snow Glare, yes. 4, 5, 6, done. Oh, okay.
Because here's one thing is like Rogue One is such a good movie,
right?
I have to put. Do you ever have a scenario where it's like it's cool, but I'm not caring? Like I have to watch Rogue One. That's like the rabbit hole. Once I go into Star Wars is 1, 2, and all the Clone Wars, and then 3, and then all the cooler stuff to get you to 4, 5, and 6.
Jamlin says, I know someone who showed his daughter all of them in numerical order. She loved them, but when the father scene came, she had basically no reaction. Only then did the dad realize his mistake. Yeah, I feel like you gotta watch Empire before everything else. Of course, after Star Wars, because everything else builds on that super lie that Yoda and Obi-Wan tell him. And it kind of ruins that moment if you know going in. And of course, for those of us who watched them and when they came out, it's not that big shocker, but just, oh man, what a great elaborate lie. And they're trying to get him to stop Darth Vader. And if you just say all the rest of it, and oh yeah, by the way, I'm your father. Yeah, we've been on that, dude. especially
Okay,
if you start throwing in the Disney
I'm
stuff.
gonna do some. You will never hear this again, other than when you actually watch this on replay. But if you were to watch the
Time stamping this right now.
prequels as your first introduction, like when they first came out, would you think, oh, okay, I got it. So maybe kind of the revision of some of the things isn't that big a deal. Because, oh, like, oh, okay, well, him telling the truth, like the Jedi. If I don't think the Jedi, like when we grew up, we kind of understood the Jedi aren't perfect. They are no, we are never portrayed like they are perfect. But if you grew up with these prequel trilogies, you're one, you might be the kind of Leslie Hadlin. Like, oh, when I grew up, I was believed that the Jedi were perfect versus us kids. Like, no, we knew the Jedi were good, but they were skating around the truth to get to their end. They were never truly portrayed to us as being perfect because we heard, Ben said, it wasn't true from a certain point of view. Like, I'm straight BSing, but because I need to get you to this point. We never had that assumption that Jedi were always good. They were humans or they were good ish. I mean, no, they were 95% good, but they weren't afraid to sprinkle you a 5% lie to get you where they need to go.
Ryan is so funny. I mean, we fall into the Star Wars rabbit hole so easily.
Yeah,
Um,
I loved it.
Ryan says the Phantom Menace doesn't really explain the Force. It counts on the audience already knowing from the three originals. Yes. Lawson, Muppets lie. This is why I'll never trust them. Blake says, Jamie, and she turned to her dad and said, you have failed me for the last time, father. Ryan also goes, also, if you watch the prequels first, you lose the magic of meeting Yoda through Luke's eyes, which is why I still prefer, before anything else, go Star Wars, go Empire. That way, everything else still kind of flows in a matter where you can see the Jedi at their peak after having learned about them and seeing, oh, wow, they really were all this great. And then you can watch the destruction, the fall of the Jedi in real time. And then we get back to Luke going, dude, what was up with all those lies you fed me? I think that kind of works out. Snow Glare goes seeing Yoda for the first time is one of the best parts. I'll always treasure that. So I think that's why it really works to go 4, 5, and then whichever else you want to go with.
Yeah,
That way,
I'm gonna say this. I always go with it that Anakin is the focal point of the story. So I go with it's Anakin's story. And if you go with it's Luke's story, you guys' way is the best way. I will literally co-sign. Like if Luke is the hero, you got to go with that way. But if Anakin's journey is your story, you have to start at one. I mean, I'm sorry. My preference is to start at one. I think we might have lost Jeff. He's looking kind of out there. And since I don't know the next topic, I can't really actually advance the conversation, but well, they'll come back in a couple seconds. I don't even have Cheap to bounce off. Okay, what's going on? All right, I'll give him a call. And I'm out. Okay. He'll be back on in a couple seconds. Let's see what we got in the chat. All right. I can't pull everybody's. All right, I'm going to go with Ryan's. Can I pull up Ryan's? Cool. All right. One second. We'll be back in a couple seconds.
Okay. Can you see me now? And you see me now.
Yeah, like I was
God,
really trying. I can't because I can't pull up comments. I can't like talk about it.
good gosh.
Like,
Fire.
did you
Gosh.
check I mean, did you check Javon's internet?
No. I don't know what was going on with Edge today. It's just
I'm sorry. Wait,
ugh.
Edge. You
Yes.
have the desktop application. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Apologize, friends. Let's see. Last thing I saw. Can you hear my mic straight?
Hmm,
Good grief. Let's pull you up to 720. 720.
720.
All right. There we go. Goodness gracious. It's like, what are you doing? All right. Gosh. All right. Anyway, back on tomorrow. I'll make sure this is fixed. It's just going nuts. I will though. All right. Jamelin says my girlfriend at the time went with me to see Rogue One. After seeing it, her interest was piqued. Came home and binged the original trilogy. I do think Rogue One can work as a solid intro. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
funny because they've kind of fiddled around with so much stuff before Star Wars, where it's like, um, you're messing up how I had this great order all together. And you got to do a lot to kind of work around. I do think the one thing that Leslie Headland had right with Acolyte was doing something before Star Wars. So, excuse me, it could exist on its own where no one could remember it, but it didn't have to be like, wait, where do I watch this in the order of everything? It's just there where it is, and you can
Hmm.
watch it as a complete standalone.
I honestly, if somebody said just put it 500 years, there is literally a void of lore 500 years before Phantom Menace. Like, there's no who knows who the Sith Lords are. Like, you have so much room to play around with.
Yes. If Lucas had only made Star Wars and stopped, wouldn't be in this whole debacle. I know, hot take.
Eh.
Thank you for sticking with me, Mark A. I was like, gosh, what's happening? I mean, the mouse is front. I was like, this is the worst. It has
We do
become the J
appreciate it,
show.
guys. Honestly, if I could pull up shows, I mean, comments, we'd have been here for hours. Like, come on.
I mean, we still had the holiday special. Exactly, Snow Glare.
Has anybody actually? I mean, like, truthfully, like, you have a lot of us have Disney Plus. Has anyone actually watched Star Wars Ewoks Holiday Special?
It's not the Ewoks, is it? No, that was a Wookiee one. It's long before them.
Are you sure? Because they didn't do the Wookiees until Phantom Menace. I mean, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it is. It's not the Ewoks one. Now they may have their own, but the Christmas one is
Oh god.
long before then. I think it's like after the first Star Wars, and that's where Boba Fett debuts. Kendrick just dropped a new song on IG. It's about Drake.
I was going to say, hey, got to get us excited about seeing Super Bowl show.
Blake, love Rogue One. Maz would definitely be one of my 4 actors I would use in my movie. There you go. I mean, I was completely willing to forget that whole Christmas special is a bad dream. Leslie, who? Acolyte? X-Men? WWE? Ryan used to watch it every Thanksgiving, Jay. So
I've never watched it, and I don't know if like that one somebody wants to do that as a movie watch along.
Blake does a movie show in Portland in the theater, and we play the holiday special every year in December.
You guys are live streaming that for us, right? I'm just want to say
it was the Chewbacca family. I thought so.
Okay.
It sells out.
Dude, that'd be cool, man.
See, you just had no idea.
And that was one of those. I'm not hating. I just want to know. Well, hey, put me hip to something. So
you ought to know. All right, great news on DC casting front. Josh Brolin said no, thank you to playing Hal Jordan. Everyone was happy. Matthew McConaughey said, all right, no way. That's great news. Mm-hmm. So now the contenders to play Hal Jordan are Ewan McGregor. He's number 3, but number 1 in our hearts. Speaking of Obi-Wan, great transition. And Chris Pine coming in at number 4. I'm just going to act Like everyone's going to forget Wonder Woman 1984. So hey, it's Steve Trevor. But I think they can pull it off. Marvel Studios did that with Johnny Storm, which came all the way back, and no problem. So I think that'll work. I mean, shoot, they did it within the universe.
Yeah.
We had Cottonmouth playing Blade. We had uh gosh, Mariah showing up, harassing Tony Stark. They don't care. So it's all good. To clarify, the holiday special is horrible. Believe me, it's so bad, but the people come. Ewoks have their own movie, right? Battle for Endor. Yep. Where's it? Nub.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I saw. Yeah, that's why I was like, I think it's the one.
I hoped Obi-Wan and B. Arthur's bartender character from the holiday special were Rey's grandparents. That would make way more sense than Papa Palpatine. Gosh. So bad.
Gosh. Hey, I'm just glad they didn't try and say like Palpatine is actually related to Mara Jade. I'd be like, I will throw something in the screen. Oh gosh.
I'm glad you didn't need to do that. So
gosh,
Ewan McGregor, Chris Pine. Which one are you pulling for? Which
Chris
one are you
Pine.
pining for?
Honestly, because again, and this is bad. I really just associate Ewan is Obi-Wan now, and I almost need to watch gosh, there's a Birds of Prey. Just as like when I see him in sci-fi, I think of him not just as Obi-Wan. It's like, hey, you're Black Mask for no god dang reason.
That movie's not worth rewatching.
Rewatching. Good God.
Oh, my friend,
man, you're old. Oh, God.
Oh no, my friend, this is madness. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, he's trying, but the movie's it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend watching it to see him do something different. There are lots of other movies he's done, and yeah. Why does Hal Jordan have to be in his 50s or 60s? That is the question, Ryan. No one seems to know, but James Gunn. I don't know
put
why.
him in his 40s because until you get to your big blow off movie, he'll be in his 50s. Like you could, if your objective is to say, hey, I want the Justice League Green Lantern to be a black guy, and you can say that just like hey, that's what I want. Just admit it. Like, hey, that's what I want. I want John. I want it to be very similar to Justice League, the cartoon. Like, okay, just admit that, and I think people will be like, all right, just get to it then. Like,
do it.
Yeah, I mean, because nobody. I think everyone who loved Justice League were like, we want to see Hal Jordan, but if you're not going to give it to us, it's okay.
Mark, I feel somewhat responsible for mentioning Jefferson Starship featured in the Star Wars Holiday Special. You're going to need that extra strong eggnog for that one.
I'm sorry. You say Jefferson Starship, and I'm literally like, I'm pretty sure I love one of their songs.
You do. Like, Jalen Parks. I really like Ewan McGregor, but I feel like Pine would feel more like Hal. Agreed. I think it's a swagger thing. He can channel some of that James T. Kirk energy. You can channel some of that Honor Among Thieves energy too. I mean, he has a bit of a scoundrel to him, and I think that would work really well for test pilot Hal Jordan, which Ryan Reynolds, who would have pulled that character off with no problem had they actually understood the character remotely, as opposed to, oh, here are a bunch of things that we could do. I'm all for John Stewart as Green Lantern. The only problem is Hal Jordan is the only Green Lantern with a cool origin. I don't know. I kind of like Guy Gardner's origin. I think his is pretty cool. Kyle Rayner's is also pretty cool. The Green Lantern Corps get massacred by their greatest hero, and this random artist gets the ring with no ties, no connection to the Green Lantern Corps. I think that's great. But Hal definitely has the best of all the Green Lanterns. And I dig guys where, oh, if not by random accidents that keep coming, he would be the greatest Green Lantern on Earth. And I really dig that. Jane is a really good one, Jason.
You know, I when I said that, I was literally looking at, what is Mannequin soundtrack for Starship. Nothing's going to stop us now. So that's what I was thinking about, Matt.
I figured that was what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
suitably uncool. His origin is so great. I mean, it's like this guy had so many things holding him back from being a Green Lantern. It takes crisis for this dude to finally become a Green Lantern.
But the funny, I mean, like just saying that I didn't know the his origin. That sounds like a really cool TV show.
It is. He'd be
Like
better suited for that because he's got such a bad attitude because he gets into an accident. If I'm remembering all the little details of his origin, yes, he was helping students in an accident. And I think a bus collides with him or something, puts him in a coma. So he misses out on his chance because the ring is trying to find somebody. I think, if I'm remembering that correctly, matching up and not tying up things, the ring passes him up and goes to John Stewart because he's incapacitated. So, or maybe that's how. Anyway, he is lined up to be the Green Lantern, but he's out. Well, the ring's like, gotta find somebody else. So he's mad about that. And it's just like, so he has this massive chip on his shoulder, even in crisis. He's got a terrible attitude. And I was like, this dude. And he comes into JLI and it's just the greatest character written ever. Takes Batman hitting him in the mouth to truly get Guy Gardner over.
Because he's such a jerk. I mean, like, I read this, but he's such a tool. and then when he actually gets punched in the face, like his attitude changes. Like, oh my gosh.
No, it's not that he gets punched. He gets knocked out, and the rest of the team could care less because he's such an obnoxious jerk. They're like, yeah, leave him there. We're gonna go deal with this mission. And then, because he's underneath the desk, he wakes up and hits his head really hard. And that is what.
That's a nice one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, man, that dude. I love that run to JLI. This is easier. Read it. It's awesome. You won't be disappointed. It's really amazing.
Honestly, that's one of those. If you wanted to make your superhero show, TV show, it's going on. If you wanted to make them likable and enjoyable, I think that would be a jumping on point for anybody. I mean, if you ask me what I want to do, the Authority or JLI, I'd do JLI. Like that is so comedy and actually still has missions. Like you would, I think most people love the hell out of that.
And that's the one they could so get away with very minimal action. I mean, they'd have to do some at some point, but they could get away with like the Smallville format of, well, here's a villain for 5 or 10 minutes of our whole episode, and no one would care. But you have to cast these characters perfect. Yeah, and I mean, you have to be willing to have Batman in something that makes people laugh.
Yeah, I mean, especially like going back to like Arrow and all those, that would have been the one. Instead of doing Legends of Tomorrow, you could have done JLI and it would have worked perfectly. Because again, they didn't need all the other things. You just needed to have that team there, and just Batman comes in when he needs to. Because I mean, technically, they cast the dude as Batman, but didn't use him in Batwoman. So it's like, come on, yeah. All you have to do is have this guy's Batman. Just like I'm Batman, not Bruce. But
you just have to play along with the fact that Batman is working. Batman and Martian Manhunter are working alongside the wildest assemblage of characters. Black Canary's here too for a bit, and they've got this dude who drives a bug-shaped ship. A guy for the 25th century who's a hero because he wants to make it big and famous. And I think Booster Gold would still translate so well in this modern era. You got an escape artist who that's his power, who that's his superpower. Then you got 2 former team members of the Guardians of the Globe who are like, y'all pay? Cool, we'll be heroes with y'all now. And then a Russian who's got a suit that's kind of chumpy. It gets beat up all the time. And he gets upgraded while he's in Apocalypse. Started on this. Then he transforms into nice guy. Totally insufferable nice guy too. It is even worse because they're all dogging him for being so nice. It's oh my gosh, I love that run.
The transition before is like, oh my gosh, this is a drunk, and then him being just so nice is so funny.
I'm reading this lovely article in Cosmo. Oh my gosh. Oh man. And they're like, I think guy has a lobotomy. Oh man, so funny. Gosh.
I mean,
That I
that's
may
one.
watch Fringe and reread JLI.
Literally, that's one of those like, hey, James, I know you're bringing Guy Gardner to the Superman movie, but please, can we give you these books just before, like, maybe edit out Guy Gardner or have Guy Gardner going to JLI so you can make the TV show? Like, just give us that. We'll enjoy it.
Please. Let's see. Got some Masters of the Universe casting news that I am sure you're gonna be excited about.
Oh, I
Jared
didn't hear
Leto.
this. This is scary.
Jared Leto has been propositioned the main role of playing Skeletor. What do you think?
Okay, this is a problem with Jared Leto. Jared Leto is a good actor. I saddle him with Joker, but he's a good actor. I'm gonna say okay because again, going back to the first statement, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. My main concern with Skeletor is the dude rocking around bare chested with a harness with crossbones, and Jared Leto is not.
Because
So
I mean, like,
are they gonna have to mess up his whole look to make that translated for live action?
it's like Jared Leto is skin and bones as Skeletor and CGI, or they're gonna make him. He's gonna be Jared Leto with blue skin.
Yeah,
That's kind of the.
That's the one thing. He could pull off the role, but I feel like they're gonna mess up his look. That's what's making me a little bit. I mean, I guess Frank Langella wasn't a bodybuilder, and he pulled off Skeletor. I guess it just depends on the costume.
Yeah, it's really gonna depend on that. But
all right, some MCU news. Spider-Man 4 now has its director, Destin Daniel Cretton. Who's that? He's the director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So we know the action scenes will be cool. And I mean, the action was great. Shang-Chi. I think he'll do it. I knew about that as of yet. I don't mean, but I don't know about that yet.
That's, I mean, again, and I will say this 90% of what I complain about in this show has nothing to do with the directors. It's all about the writers. Because the director is just paid to, hey, I got material. I'm shooting what they tell me to shoot. And
some directors have more control than others.
Yeah, but most of them kind of, they give you, hey, I give it a. Oh, yeah. That was last week. Again, I think Allison's going to kill his Evelyn because she's actually really good. I don't know if you guys watched, oh gosh, what was that? The Visitor on Netflix, The Visitation. I don't know what it was called.
No, but I did watch her in Somebody I Used to Know movie on Amazon. It was terrible. And I was like, this movie's awful. She was like the bad guy. So I think she'd do just fine as Evelyn. She plays the role anything close to that terrible movie.
Yeah. So she has the chops to pull Evelyn off.
Right. And if you saw her in Good Heart, she can rock the Evelyn costume. I feel like that's the only thing I remember about that movie.
I think the way you said it's so definitive, like, yeah, she can pull that off.
It was Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. It was all right. I didn't feel the need to watch it again. I laughed.
You chuckled. It doesn't sound like a laugh.
Yeah. I've bookmarked it. I haven't watched it yet, but I did see that it looked kind of cool. So I'm planning to watch it. It does look like costumes look pretty solid. So yeah.
Where's that located?
YouTube.
Oh, okay. Because I think like Amazon
working on the sequel.
Amazon has the Masters of the Universe that's only on for one season. I'm like,
no. It's like a fan project done really high quality, and they put solid work into the costumes and all this stuff. So
okay.
Yeah. They're currently doing the Kickstarter for the sequel. Okay. So Spider-Man 4 is going to, the rumors are, it's going to be like an Avengers level event. It's going to be set or the release is going to be in between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So that could be big.
Okay.
Rumored cast members: Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat. Say no more. But we're also going to have Hammerhead in it and Daredevil showing up along with Kingpin, yes, and Ant-Man.
But no. Ant-Man beats Kang the Destroyer.
Kang Killer.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, he's above. Like, he took out the guy who broke out Thor. Like, no, he didn't do that stuff. Like, come on.
Never find he had a great vacation when they were putting those scripts together.
Like, wait,
like, sure, whatever. That sounds awesome.
Like, I mean, there's no way that dude wasn't chilling on the beach with like 1,000 pina coladas. There's no way. I actually just watched Anyone But You. That was a good movie.
You just watched it? I told you to watch it.
I was like, yeah, that's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Glenn
Powell. I'm still trying to figure out, like, that dude there has to be a role in DCU for that guy. It's like, all right, do you put him as Hal Jordan? Do you put him as...
Yes, he's Hal Jordan. No, he's Booster Gold.
Like, Booster Gold, like, there was somebody else to put him as Barry Allen. I'm like, I see him much more as that. Like, even after watching anyone but you, but it's like, yo, he's got like that, like, yo, I'm that dude. There's no way you can tone him down. He's like, yo, I can do it.
He's Hal Jordan. He's
Hal Booster.
Much of that slightly. I might want to punch this dude in the face, and that's Hal, fighter pilot, Maverick. I mean, he was in Maverick. Yeah, let him do that. It will hire the nicest looking nice guy to be Barry. That way, when you pair them on screen, it's like, why are you best friends with this guy?
Yeah, it's like, hey, you could change me a little bit, but I'm that dude.
You already played Hal Jordan Maverick, right?
Look, hey, then we have the question, yo, is Maverick part of the DCU? We don't know.
Here comes Tom Cruise. I'm here to play Superman. Sorry, I already cast him. I can be Earth 2 Superman.
Yeah.
Just give me my list. Maybe they can have him be the Flash. He already ran better than Ezra Miller. No, it's got to be a little more flopping. Sydney Sweeney.
No, wait, look. Again, let's do the ice dancing. Like, when somebody's pitched that, it's like, ice dancing Flash? Why?
No. And listen, Sydney Sweeney clearly has an obvious role in the DCU. It's Black Canary. You're welcome.
I don't think anyone has a problem with that.
Right. As long as he does his own stuff. They can run. Yeah. And then he would fit in with his 80-year-old Justice League that James Gunn is apparently working on. Not the Tom Cruise thing.
Jeff, it sounds like you're having a little less hope than you did 6 months ago.
I'm not really. I didn't understand the point of making Hal old. That makes no sense. Power Girl. I feel like she's a little short to play Power Girl. She could do. I mean, because they're like muscular women who could pull off Power Girl just fine. Sydney looks like she could play that street level vigilante who's got some martial arts training, did some kickboxing with Wildcat, or boxing, not kickboxing.
Well, Jeff, she's already Spider-Woman.
Nobody cares.
Again, I think it's one of those. I think if you put the right role to her, I don't think she'd be like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah,
yeah, I'm good because I can already produce. I've already been producing movies that are successful.
Yeah,
you're not gonna hurt my star power. Like, if it bombs, I'm good.
Tom Cruise Flash joke stolen. How about this one? You're gonna whitewash Black Canary? Justice for Journey. I tip my non-hat wearing hat to you, my man. Quality work. Yes. Mark Hamill will be a great Skeletor voice. Know the body. It can be a James Earl Jones Vader thing.
He did. Didn't he do Skeletor?
Yeah, he does it on this Revelation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna disagree because he does the same voice. I want somebody because it's like, oh, it's Joker playing Skeletor. I would like him to have a little. I mean, like I want somebody to be like, hey, this is distinctly Skeletor. Like, but like Mark Hamill is 100%. It's like he's Luke and he's and he's Joker. And when he does anything else, it's like, nah, that's Mark Hamill. Like, yeah.
All right, let's see
like,
here.
Who's my man? Kyrie Payton. It's like, yo, that's Kyrie. Okay, like, yo, that's Kyrie. Like,
that's random black guy. That's the black guy from Young Justice. All of them.
Like, which one? The black guy. That's what I said.
There's a black character. Chances are I played him. Viggo Mortensen is Skeletor. He has the chin. Well, no. Who could he play in the James Gunn universe? He's old enough. Let's see. Maybe he could play Lightning Lad.
Bro, he ain't Lad no more. He's a lightning old dude.
That's the point. Maybe he could be Robin. All right. Let's see. Beetlejuice. Apparently, there's a demand for this sequel that no one expected. 110 million last weekend. Finally dethroned for good Deadpool and Wolverine. What do you think?
I think that's. I don't believe that's actually real news. I guess no anyone wanted to buy it, see that movie. But no, all jokes aside, I think that's cool. Like I think there's comedy. It didn't require a lot of stunts. It's Michael Keaton making jokes and bringing over cashback. That's cool.
Or is Jenna Ortega living in Sydney Sweeney's world?
Well, I mean, Jenna Ortega can't miss because I think was it her and Sabrina Carpenter video? I'm sure that's hit a bajillion views from now.
She was in a video of Sabrina the Witch. I know. Sorry, it was there, and I went with the old man joke.
You really did.
Out of touch old man joke. I know. Really I've seen the video.
Do you know who
my little cousin put me hip?
Do you know who Sabrina Carpenter is? You know Espresso?
I do. Yeah. My little cousin put me hip.
All right, good job.
That's the only reason why.
Just cute. It's a cute song for the summer.
Have you seen the video?
Oh, what? Espresso? Or the other one?
The Sabrina Carpenter and Jenna Ortega one.
Yeah, I was like, they were like, oh, this is a thing. Like, we didn't expect that on our bingo card. Like, yeah, I kind of have to agree with that. That was not one on my bingo card.
It could have been the main event for an AEW show. He could be one of the JSA members. There you go. Which one, Viggo or Tom Cruise? I mean, shoot, the JSA is going to be senior citizens for real in James Gunn's universe. I remember when we fought in the Great War.
I remember Christmas.
Gosh. Ugh. Anyway, all right. Yeah, third best opening in 2024. Agreed, David. All right, so now I'm going to put you on a super spot because you had no idea where we're going with this.
Yeah, it really sounds like a setup.
Someone wrote. All right, 4 actors that you would put in whatever movie, and now you get to decide right now which actors, what genre you would do. Go.
All right, easy as always. Denzel. Anything dramatic, I can easily put him in. I think I can probably put him in an action movie unexpectedly. And I think people will still buy into Denzel as an actor. I mean, action star. Wesley Snipes is another guy I would put in any kind of movie. Because I think he can do it. I think Wesley can do anything. I think a lot of people forgot how good he is.
For a new Blade movie.
No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I said except for a new Blade movie.
I mean, because honestly, how many people, when we saw him in Expendables 3, we're like, oh, shoot, y'all bringing Wesley back.
I'm there, like, yes.
That was like, oh, okay. I lose Jet Li, but I get Wesley. All right, this is a trade I can live with. Yeah, that's my 2 I got right now, and then I have to think about it because somebody set me up on this.
It's okay. My 4, I want a movie with the Chris's. And so Evans, Pine, Hemsworth, and Pratt All four of them in a movie. And for bonus, who will I have be the villain in this action movie or heist movie trying to take them down? Should it be Jenna Ortega or Sydney Sweeney? Which one? No, I'm gonna have him go against like an older distinguished. Maybe that's where I
No,
throw in Denzel and have him
no.
play the bad guy against these four young Chris's.
Oh my gosh, no.
Maybe it'll be my remake of Four Brothers. Where they actually look like brothers.
Four Brothers. Oh.
Ryan Daly says Sydney Sweeney, Jenna Ortega, Anya Taylor Joy, and of course Steamboat Willie.
No, I think your villain is Scarlett Johansson.
Okay, there you go.
Like I think she's due for a good villain role, and I think everybody be like, yeah, she can pull that off.
Wesley Snipes in a remake of Ice Castles might not be as good as you think. I don't know, Austin. Chris is on Infinite Earths. Yes, Jalen. That was the title. I'm gonna give you a production credit for that one.
Yes. Yeah.
David Thanos says my 4 stars are Sydney Sweeney and Salma Hayek. But wait, that's
that is inappropriate.
Snook. All right, so who you matched it up now?
Oh, who else? Man, you really screwed me up on this one.
I'm sure. Don't worry.
I mean, it was like really a 180. I was like, hey, I was flowing through me, and now you're like, oh, I gotta pick out good actors.
But you sent me that, so you should have had your ideas already in place.
I didn't think about it.
Keanu Reeves in there.
Gosh, all right. Let me. Because I mean, it's like I got to think of my all-star movie. Cool, because it's all. I mean, action movies. Says I just watched Expendables, and it's like, can you give me all right, Jared, Gerard Butler. Who else would I throw in that movie? Gerard Butler. Liam Neeson. Gosh, I gotta figure out one.
All right, here I got another one for you.
Okay.
A realistic rom-com. Cat Williams stars the romantic lead who gets absolutely no time at all with Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, and with Salma Hayek. There you go. And he keeps trying to talk to him, and they shoot him down all the time. They don't realize that he's a nice guy. They don't care. So there you go. There's my realistic rom-com where they want absolutely nothing to do with him.
Are you saying that a rom-com with Jennifer Lopez that she can't find love because people don't find her pretty is realistic?
I'm flipping the formula a little bit. Or maybe I should make it that all three of them are trying to pursue Cat Williams, who's like,
Again, that is the unbelievable, and everyone's like, come on, hey, Cat, I don't care. But like, seriously, you know your love. I know, come on.
Turns into a violent insult story real quick. Oh, I mean, come on now. You know how that's going to play out. David Thanos, for real, my 4. Ryan Reynolds, Robert Downey Jr., Denzel, and Keanu. Whoa. I like that one.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Now, what do you got? Action, movie, comedy, sports drama?
Okay.
Like Tarpley says, we need to see Christoph Waltz as a great villain. Wait, was he one in 007? No, no, he was not. Didn't see that last 4 bomb.
Okay, I got it. Since I actually have the picture up now, I got it. Cool.
So yeah, he should have been. I don't know what happened. And I have all the Bond movies in my collection. I didn't get the last one because I was just on straight up protest.
Yeah.
I got Skyfall, more. Well, I
It
thought
was good.
not Skyfall. Jeez, that was
Skyfall was great. I mean, come on.
Skyfall was great. What is the one that was right after that?
Spectre?
Yes, I got
Mm.
Spectre because there are parts of Spectre that are really well done, really cool. It's just second half gets ridiculous. It's like this isn't even a Bond movie at this point, and it just goes nuts. I guess Stan the romantic lead and Daniel Craig is like this is his daughter. Stop.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Especially after I mean, like, what was it, Monica Bellucci? Like, nah, champ. That's his daughter.
Nah,
Like,
champ.
just that was always that threw me off. It's like this is a age appropriate for Daniel Craig Bond girl. Like
Right.
the daughter lead coming in, nah, champ. Like this is.
And they had no chemistry either. None. Non-existent. It was on a pulse. But I got it just because, like, all right, there's enough here I kind of dig. But that last one, no. Wanted no parts of it.
Yeah.
Chump Bond, terrible resolution, awful payoff.
Okay, I got this, based on this list. All right, so I got my bad guy, Gary Oldman. My protagonist, Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt. I don't know what movie this is gonna be, but this is gonna work. It's Gary Oldman is a bad guy, always works. I hated Fifth Element, but he tried. That, like, I mean, because I didn't like that, but when he hits in the professional, bring me everyone.
Oh gosh.
Right. Like, that joint was so good. Like, okay, that dude always is like, Jim Gordon is always gonna be cool in my book. So yeah.
Yes. Let's see here. Snake Eyes with some solid additions. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, fun. Sam Worthington, Kiefer Sutherland, Stephen Lang.
Ooh. Man, that's a cool cast.
What have you got here?
Wow. Who's a bad guy?
Well, not Kiefer. I've watched him in a few movies where he's back. I'm like, sorry, Jack.
We're too used to being him as Jack. It's like, are y'all really gonna root against Jack?
Like, yeah. I can't do it. Won't do it. Let's just think it. We haven't seen our guys 80s kid or the 90s last couple of weeks. 80s kid, what up, man? Hope everything's well. After child, hope you're doing well out there in the ether as well. Let's see. So you have another one?
All right, let's go. All right.
Did you send that directly to me or to the?
I sent it to you because I was expecting like you give us actually some fair warning and then we
I just went rogue and I'm okay admitting that. I'm fine saying that's what happened here.
All right. See, I would have put like in my I would put Jason Statham and not Jason Jet Li. Man, there's got to be somebody else.
Yeah, that movie was not good.
What happened there? You mean the one? You didn't love the one, Jeff? I wouldn't. No, the weird thing is, I wonder how good the one would be if you could have, like, Jason Statham is actually a integral part. He's not just random character in the movie. Because, hey, I just watched Beekeeper again. Like, that movie's kicked tail for me. Like him, give me my action dude, Gerard Butler, Jason Statham, Liam Neeson, like, yo, just straight old action movie, and then you got your one bad guy you're always trying to take down. Bring it to me.
My 4 and a fourth wall type movie where Robert Downey Jr. is the high table and hires Deadpool to take out Wicked McCall. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. I kind of like this idea, so I'm gonna go with Colin Farrell and Keanu Reeves, of course, because I don't care about not playing up against that. Let's see. Let's go with Morgan Freeman. And who's going to be my other kind of sneaky one? Joey King, Bullet Train, and Aaron Taylor Johnson in an assassin movie where they're all trying to capture a prize. but they have to be the last assassin standing by midnight.
You know what? How are you excited to see the Dave Bautista movie?
I don't know. It's an action comedy, which could mean it could go either way.
Look,
It looks like it's going to be a little bit violent, but if the comedy is trying too hard, it might not work. It is done by Lionsgate, so in that sense, I'm a little bit more optimistic than I would if it were some other company doing it. I think they can pull off violence and comedy, so we'll see, but who knows?
Yeah, it's like that was one of those I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, Dave, I'm kind of down with this. So like a killer who thinks he's got like terminal illness and then finds out he can't do it. It's like, yeah, it
no, he was misdiagnosed. That's the premise of it.
Yeah, it's like that. Like you got Drew McIntyre in there, like so he's not some small dude in there. Like,
damn, my man Drew, greatest troll in the WWE right now.
Yeah, he is.
It's amazing. All right, you got any others?
Yeah, I'm ill prepared. So now I think I'm.
It's fine. It's fine.
I know.
It's on me now, Oos. It's on me. It's that time of the week then, and due to a lack of other options, you're gonna have to go first.
Number one in this.
You're gonna go first.
I'm gonna mess with everybody, especially after watching that Monday Night Football game where they were thinking, "Oh gosh, Aaron Rodgers is back. The Jets are gonna be in the Super Bowl." And then, honestly, Aaron Rodgers was very much like, I'm a dude who hasn't played in a year and a half. We're probably not going to be a Super Bowl. And the fact that I have the Jets defense also is my fantasy team. Also feeling a little kind of effed up on that. So thanks for that one. That was awesome. Really, really sporting. So yeah, like the folks who have messed up my Super Bowl predictions and making me win my Super Parlay, y'all are my dummy of the week.
It's funny that you mentioned that. My dummy of the week is also ESPN. They spent 28 minutes out of the 30-minute halftime, or not halftime, the pregame, talking about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, did they do anything last year? No. You know who did? The guys who lost in the Super Bowl. We got like a smidge. Hey, did you know that the Niners could have drafted Aaron Rodgers? Back to Aaron Rodgers. So I was really happy with how that turned out there. David Thanos has one. Agent Smith, John Doe from 7. Cyrus the Virus, Con Air, and Hans Gruber. And they can dig it out to see who's the best of the 4. I like that.
I like it. Good one.
Snake Eyes, Ryan Gosling, Walton Goggins, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, and action comedy film. That's a fun.
I like that combination.
That's
pretty fun. Honestly, I'm wondering how good Walter Goggins is going to get like after Fallout. I think his star power is going to go up a whole lot.
I don't know why it would go up now. I mean, the dude's already been good.
But now people are paying attention. I mean, it's never about how good they are. It's how many eyeballs on it. So
maybe the Red Skull will show up in Brave New World, and Walter Goggins can play him. Just bring your Fallout makeup; it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll work. Yeah. Now, what happened with Cheryl Swoops? Is she just like hating on the let's be honest, WNBA Rookie of the Year?
I don't know. No? David, what did she do? Lawson says Christian Bale, Wesley Snipes, Samuel Jackson, and Charlize Theron in a movie about hitman rivals. All have had flings in history. Charlize is a dark humor rom-com. I could watch that.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is 40, coming off an Achilles tear. In his last healthy season in Green Bay, he was only mediocre. Breathe. I want to just take that in. Like, and he's not exactly focused on football anymore. Yes. He's already in everything. Exactly. So many State Farm commercials. He's done wait, you're probably not talking about Aaron Rodgers. Blake, I like Channing Tatum in comedies only. He's brilliant in the Jump Street movies. I've never seen those.
Yeah.
So Channing in a comedy lead. Ryan, Dummy of the Week is retroactively. All the people thought Caitlin Clark was a bust after her first WNBA game.
Yeah, that wasn't the best idea. Like,
it's bad take. Snake Eyes, I can actually see Walton Goggins playing with Red Skull.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that look is just a tad inspired by Red Skull. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me, bro. And thank you all for dealing with my ridiculous technical difficulties. Hopefully, we'll get them all squared away. Jace, don't forget to go back to the Discord. There's some questions. Ryan has one. So check it out. See if you can on tech support on the spot. More spots for you. Not my dog spot, but the spot.
Your spot, not my dog spot, but
right.
Yeah.
Yes. So make sure to check that out. And tomorrow, be back on as always with more Lyle's Figure Files. For now, thank you so much, bro, for rolling. Jamelin Parks, Snake Eyes, Ryan Daly, Blake Tarpley, Snow Glare, Mark A, Lost in Wallace, David Thanos. Let me see. Did I forget anybody?
Mark A, Ryan, Jamelin.
Going up. Let's see.
They're probably lost in folks other part of the stream, which I'm still gonna enjoy. David Thanos, Snow Glare.
I think everybody stayed with us through the debacle.
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know if it's actually going to recognize it, but hey.
We'll see.
Keith Cooper, thanks,
Sydney Sweeney for life. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll be back on. But for now, this episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.